Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I have traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram, lab tested, all natural, water soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, your delight when you need it most.
Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Hi, my name is Gavin Kerr,
My name is Brandon Croucher.
and you're watching Java Delight.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell.
Enjoy the show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are coming to you live from Cleveland, Ohio, and South Africa.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yes, we are coming to you guys. I am with the one, the only Miss Elsa again. She is here to have fun with us, spread positivity, and bring a positive way through our days. So, Elsa, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing very, very well. When it's Wednesday today, yes, Wednesday have treated me top notch, so I am happy. Sorry for that's my daughter. Sorry, sorry,
No,
guys.
you are 100% okay. I'm laughing because all of a sudden there's a new follower that's going to make this interesting for me. I can see that all of a sudden we have a new follower, a new subscriber. It's the Big Banana. Hello there, Big Brandon. That's just going to make me very intrigued by how today's going to go. Like, this is going to be a fun one. Good morning. Go ahead and tell us more about your daughter. I got to meet your daughter today.
Yes, her name
wh-
is Eileen.
Eileen, I love it.
Yeah, so I gave her my second name because I'm Ilse Eileen, so she's just Eileen Pieterse.
I love that. Oop, let's turn the volume down, making sure everything's perfect. All of everything's set up. So say that again. She's what?
Eileen Pieterse.
She was so Ilsa's trying to teach me a little bit of South African or African, correct?
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Yes.
And I'm not very good at it. And today she had her daughter come over, and I got to meet her daughter, and I'm like, "Oh, you're just as beautiful as your mom." And she goes, "What did he say?" Like, to her mom, and Ilsa says, "It sounds like a paragraph worth of words." And I'm like, what did you just say? Say it again, and I'm going to try to say it this time.
Okay, so I said, hy vra, sorry. I said, now you got me confused, right? Hy sê, jy is net so mooi soos jou ma.
Yeah, I'm not going to even try it. Yes,
Dis jou ma. So ma is mother. Ma means mother.
That makes sense,
And
ma.
yes, and mooi is beautiful or pretty, or so that's mooi.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Very cool. So you and I were having fun. We're catching up. We're getting to know each other and all that. It's been a lot of fun getting to know you, Elsa. And you
That's
have a.
Lincoln. Yeah, that's Lincoln. It's our boy.
I
Yes.
love it. My
Lincoln
boys
and
are right next
Milo
to
is
me.
also. We've also got a Milo.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, he's a little sausage. Yes, he's a little sausage
Aww.
dog. Yes, yes. So it's not actually my dogs. We are where we shoot our podcast for the Stone Daisies. So on Wednesday nights we interview South African bands, and and we start right at 6 o'clock. So that's when you guys finish, because then it's after when we finish here. It's about 12 o'clock there by you guys.
Yes.
12 in the afternoon. So it's 6 o'clock at in the afternoon for us. So we start at about 6:15. So I had to drive here. So I'm here where my daughter lives in our little space where we do our Stone Daisy podcast.
I love that. I love,
Yeah.
love, love. Your daughter's 14.
No, she's 19.
19. She looks
Yes,
young.
yes.
I,
Well, I'm turning 39, so I had
wait. You're
a.
turning 39 or you
I'm
are
lying.
30?
I'm lying. I am 39.
When
She's
was your
shouting, yeah,
birthday?
you're turning 40. Like, thanks, eh?
You turn around, you're like, I love you too.
Yeah, it's like, hey, bitch, what? We've got a
She's like,
very, very good relationship. She's my best friend. I'm telling you, we really,
how
really get along.
aw, how far
Yeah,
away are you from that pool and how dirty is that pool? Or clean?
it's it's winter, so it's not dirty. I've seen worse. It's just got a little bit of leaves in and that, but I'm like a meter and a half.
So if I was to convince you to get your daughter to come over there and you push her in, would that be wrong?
Yes, because she will hate me forever. Hy wil hê ek moet jou in die swembad gooi. She's already trying to convince me not to do it. She's like, no, it's not like.
I need to like shower and get ready and everything. No.
Oh, you're just helping her skip the shower. You're just gonna help her skip the shower. You don't need it if
Yeah,
you
she
already
can then just dress.
Right.
Hy sê dat jy kan net gaan shower, ag jy kan dan net aantrek. She rolled her eyes at you.
Rolling
She was
your
like,
eyes.
you got the eye roll.
I have two
Well
sisters.
done.
I know what the
Well
eye roll
done.
means. Yes. It's an accomplishment when you can get the eye roll. Oh,
Exactly. And I mean, you're not even talking to her. She's just hearing what you're thinking, and she goes like, whatever.
I am the best at getting female eye rolls. So, well, everybody do us a favor. Say hello. Tell us where you're at today. We want to be able to get out and, excuse me, say hello to everybody and just be able to spread positivity and let you guys know we love, appreciate, and want you to know you're there. We're there for you and think the world of everybody. I'm going to click this. I'm going to make sure everybody knows. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, mainly because I always forget to say it. I'm told I need to really start pushing my company more because other guests have come on and watched us and have said he needs to really focus on his product. He needs to show people what it does, like what he's done. He should be proud of it. So I'm trying to remember to do all those things. It makes it fun. And I also am somebody who I love to give the attention to other people. I'm very good at deflecting. And I just, it's one of those things when you build your own company, it gets really hard to, I hate this big banana already. And I already know I'm gonna have trouble like keeping my face straight with their comments. But I'm trying.
We're ready. I'm ready.
You ready? Like, hold on. I got it. You ready? I need some delight in my coffee to keep up with this big banana today. So,
Please.
yeah, right?
Send some
right?
over. Send some
I
over.
wish I could. I'm not allowed. Right, hold on here. Oh.
Oh, thank you.
It just
With
tripped.
the pencil.
We're just gonna
My little
do what
wiggly move.
We'll do that, and let's celebrate the start of a delightful hemp day. So today is hemp day. So you have not been a part of a hemp day yet.
No, I
Elsa,
haven't.
this is the first one, and this is your first one. So let's have some fun. Pick any letter of the English alphabet. Any letter.
You know that the Afrikaans alphabet is exactly the same as the English.
I did not know that.
It's exactly the same. You just pronounce them in a different way.
So I'm gonna have fun with this. Tell me that give me any letter, and I am I'm ready for you. I'm gonna teach everybody something about the hemp plant, and all else is gonna do is pick a letter of the alphabet, and I'm gonna bring up a government article that talks about hemp and all the different varieties of it. And yeah, I'm excited for this one. Go. All right, Elsa, I'm ready for you. Are.
Let's use V.
V. Oh, you're gonna go tough on me. All right, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Boom, boom. I'm opening, waiting for a file.
My mug says I don't do small talk.
Really?
Yes.
Why not?
It's a waste of time.
So what is small talk?
When
Like, is that pillow talk?
No. That's something completely different, of course.
You're like, no. All right, so V you said, correct?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You make your comment. Well, this is like, it's loaded. It's just taking its time moving to the article.
I think what falls under small talk is belittling people and stuff like that. So I don't do small talk. I don't talk down to people.
Really?
I always try and lift them up. That's how I see it.
So small talk consisting of being just a conversation that has no points.
Yes. Where you use personal things to break someone down because you don't have an argument.
Really?
I mean, how many times have that? Yes, how many times have that happened? So small talk is talking down to people.
That makes sense. I can get it. All right, so V, you ready? It's kind of funny you picked this. This is vacation destinations that are the best vacations where you can go try marijuana legally.
You know we are up there, hey? They legalize all over.
I do. So like France, you'll not want to smoke in, say, France or Singapore, but there are loads of other countries where marijuana has been legalized, decriminalized, or just socially mainstream. The following 26 countries is where weed, if not legal, is at least super chill. All right, you ready? Canada. You knew that one, right?
No, I didn't.
Canada legalized in 2018, so it's pretty fascinating. The United States, depends on where you go. Mexico, honestly, just tell them you're part of the cartel. You'll be fine. Belize.
Where's Belize?
Belize is southern. Here, actually, I have a better idea on how to make this work. Where is everybody today? Brian, where's like Fernando and everybody? Our viewership is down on Wednesday, and we usually have a lot bigger viewership. I want to bring this in. I'm just grateful I have the people here that are here, like Stuart, Brian, and Sherry McQueen, I see. And then us,
Good
of
morning.
course.
Yes.
Good morning. So here is Florida right here. Do you see this on the screen? No, you don't. And Mexico, all of this down here below Florida that has like the marijuana leaves and the flower and all that, that's Belize. So Costa Rica, Jamaica. By the way, so here's the thing. I went to Jamaica on a vacation, and Fernando slipped on a banana peel. It fell under the bed. But I went to Jamaica, and you'd think they'd be a lot more open and intrigued with wanting to have like people smoking and stuff. It's still illegal there, and like for real, even though Bob Marley's from there, it's still illegal. And I'll tell you this, they were not exactly the most, they did not exactly want us to be able to have our hands on marijuana that easily. Like,
Why?
sales, they don't have dispensaries, the growing, all of that. They don't have the regulations in place yet, and that's why.
But why do
It
they want to regulate it?
so the government
So
can
they can
control it.
collect taxes.
Bingo. Yep, exactly. It's so the government has control and can be the ones that tell us what we have and don't have. You could smoke in
Because it
Argentina.
doesn't really belong to them, or it's actually nobody's choice.
You and I agree on that, but at the same point, people have no idea, that the ones in charge, what it can do to you. And to be able to say, like alcohol, okay, you could go buy a bottle of alcohol, and while yes, you're buying that bottle and you're enjoying it and blah blah blah, they have no right to tell you whether you could drink the whole bottle or not. It's when you go to the streets. With marijuana, they haven't figured out how to do that yet. They haven't figured out how to say, hey, this is going to be something that you can put in your coffee, and it's not going to make you, because mine's CBD, but like it's
Yes.
not, or you're going to have any psychedelics, you're not going to be high, you're just going to be like your normal you. But the funny thing is, they don't know how to regulate that yet, and they have to make money off it and taxes, and then we have to pay those taxes.
Exactly. Sad.
All right,
But you were
ready?
saying?
I'm sorry, Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Uruguay, all of these are without a doubt all yeses to go and be able to enjoy. Now, let's have some fun ones. Cambodia. You can rely on it in Cambodia. It is cheap, weed is legal, and it is but it is currently accepted and ubiquitous for everybody. I just think that's interesting.
What's in sorry, what is inubiquitous? What did you say?
Ubiquitous. It is open. It is
Ubiquitous. Okay.
open to others, able to be seen, shared, all of that. Like, it's something that's not hidden from anybody. It's
Okay, awesome.
open. Yeah. So here, hold on, bringing more in. I have no idea what Leos is.
No,
I have
Leos.
I have no idea where that is. It is illegal there, but like no one cares. The policy isn't enforced, and you'll find happy meals, so to speak, the same way you would if you lived in Cambodia. It might be better off trying to pick up a hostel than on the street, but you'll be okay. And it's one of the most beautiful countries in Southeast Asia. How about North Korea? I never thought of North Korea as a place where I would go smoke weed or go on vacation, but I guess you could. Belgium, Italy. Oh, I would love to smoke in Italy. You just sit on a
Yes,
cafe. Like,
yes.
call me weird, but of all these
You know what?
countries, oh, go ahead.
I want to yoga everywhere across the world on high mountain tops, and just want to do a yoga pose. I'm not that into yoga, so I'm not a master, but I just want to
I'm not
stand
a
there and
master.
soak in Mother Nature.
Yes.
I'm
Look,
telling you, I love it. That's what I want to do. That's my dream.
honestly, that is something that honestly, it's one of those things where I'm a big fan of yoga. And it's not anything more than I just enjoy.
Mm,
They teach you to breathe, and they say,
exactly. And to
like,
stretch.
yes, like this morning, my meditation, I was sitting here, I mean, not here, I was sitting outside, and I was taking deep breaths, and I was just making sure I was aligned and ready for today's show, giving myself the best energy I can for me, so I can actually turn around and be able to provide a positive atmosphere for everybody here. And what was interesting about that was my entire meditation I was listening to today was all about just breathing. It was breathe in, breathe out, and it was just slow. And what was caught me off guard was how my dog that sits by me over everything, he's just right next to me, curled up, and he's just all lovey-dovey and ready to like be by me. But I'm doing this, and he completely is just zoned out. Like, it's like I'm not even in the room. And I could feel myself wake up. I don't know what it is. you're learning about me and I'm learning about you still, but like I suffer from bipolar disorder. So I have happies and I have sads, and they're big and small and blah, blah, blah. But I woke up and my mindset this morning was more sad. And I don't know why.
I've also been emotional the whole day. I'm
It,
telling you the whole day. So it's not just you. It's really not just you. I've really been so emotional the whole day, and I had a good day.
and that's the thing. What is pulling us down? And I'm asking this not as a let's go negative conversation, but this is a community. And we have time to have a cup of coffee this morning before our guest comes in and talk. What is bringing us into this mindset? Like, so Ilsa, you're telling me you're feeling this emotional drain today. And I woke up, gosh, 3 hours ago because of the time difference and all that. I don't want you to think I'm sleeping till 6 o'clock at night your time.
It's fine. You can take it, please. Nap.
Nap.
You have to
Get
nap.
to sleep. I see. I literally like I wake up and I have to tell myself, keep going. Keep going. It's going to be a good day. If you want a real shock, look into the strength of medical grade marijuana in Israel. You are 100% right, Stuart. I've actually got that in there. It's one of my other letters in my alphabet. It's pretty fascinating how it's broken down and what they're doing. Hey, I wondered why I never heard back from you yesterday. I sent you a message on Facebook, whew, brain. And I wanted to talk to you about the guy that got bit. Remember how I told you my dog bit somebody?
Yes.
He's in the hospital, and like,
Really?
yeah, not good. He's having infections. He's been in the hospital a lot. So I thought that was kind of what one of the triggers was for me, why I woke up.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like we can wake up and you're allowed to feel that emotion. I want to make sure I state that. But at the same point, you have to be able to change your mindset because it's easy to just keep moving down that. If I was to take my coffee and spill it on me on accident right now, just by missing my mouth taking a drink, it's going to drip down the front. And if I don't wipe it off and let it go, it's going to be one of those things where it could keep going the rest of the day. That negativity, that negative mindset. And I don't like that. So I try to break from it. And when you wake up to a text message that somebody you're petrified is hurting that got bit by your dog is in the hospital again, all I can think is I hope he doesn't lose his penis because that's where she bit him. And I feel bad, but I want to laugh too. And it's not funny. But it's funny as hell, but it's not funny.
Dog humor, nothing wrong with that. That's how we cope. That is how humans cope, is by putting humor into dog situations. That's why you always get the dog no-go jokes that you're not supposed to make, but you still laugh.
Yeah.
And I know now why you felt like that, because I think your first thoughts in the morning are the most important thoughts that you will think, because it just aligns your day.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to get upset if I see I'm going to be late for work, because I hate being late. And then I get pissed off when anybody else makes me late, because I am not late, but I have to wait for everybody else. I just let it go and decided to in the mornings when things don't go right, say to myself, okay, there's a reason why I shouldn't be on the road at that time. And if I'm now going to get upset, it's not going to let anything move faster. And you know how that changes your whole day, because the morning thought, I feel, is the most important.
I agree. Sorry, Jessica responded to me. I'll have to screenshot and send you things when I'm off air, Jess. I'm sorry. Apparently you didn't get it. Joe didn't get a message from me either yesterday. I swear to God, I don't know what's going on tech-wise, but like I've been watching messages just spin and it drives me nuts and I don't know why. Like I've had to reset my phone every day this week, like a hard reset, and I don't know why. But whatever, moving on from my phone. Jessica, I will reach out to you today. I actually have set aside time to make sure I reach out and actually connect with you because I have some things just to talk and love you about. And you got my yes. Yeah, because CK and I set up a meeting yesterday. It's called, what did I say? I call it our spiritual hour. It's my spiritual hour with CK. So I love it. But like, what do you do? What do you do to actually start your day and get your day going in that right direction? For me, I've started right next to my bed. I have a notebook and I have literally started writing things, and I try to go 3 to 5 minutes, just completely no plan of what I'm writing and just write. And it's one of those things where I write and I write and I write, and sometimes good, sometimes it just seems like I'm blabbering, but we all know Brandon likes to blabber. But like, I'm reading, I'm watching what I'm writing, and it's supposed to set my day up. What I noticed today between that and the meditation, I went from feeling, and excuse my French, I'm getting my F word in today, but I felt completely fucked in my head. I was literally listening to myself tell myself, nope, you don't do this. Nope, you don't do this. Nope, you're not good at this. Nope, you're not good at that. Nope. And I'm like, why am I telling myself this? And I'm writing, and I'm not writing that. And I'm trying to, like, I want to say childhood traumas, but like, I'm trying to take baby Brandon and literally put him in a spot where it feels good, where he feels comfortable and I can compliment and take care of myself. And that has been my biggest problem, is I have a very hard time taking care of me. And I'm open about this because I know there's more people out there like this.
A lot. So many people.
How do you self-love? It could be something as simple as painting your nails to something as going for a jog.
I hike a lot. I
love that.
hike a lot. Yes. Because I live in a lodge. Well, not a lodge, like a bed and breakfast kind of setup. It's very beautiful. I'll show you around there one day. I'll sit outside because it's got beautiful gardens. It's just chilly.
Push her in now. Push her in.
She saw me.
Did she run away?
Yeah.
She ran away. She didn't want to play. Man,
I think she's cold sitting in the shade, so she moved into the sun because that is a lovely corner, a sunny corner.
Good morning, Chad.
Okay, sorry, what I was busy saying. I always shower in the morning. And then I sage myself, and I sage my space, and I put my crystals on, and I get dressed for work, and I go to work, and I just try and not.
I love it. Mine's pink to match my outfit.
You see, I love that shirt. That's rose quartz, hey?
Yeah, it's. I was given this by. As funny as this is going to sound, I was given this. Oh my God. Are you ready for a special guest?
Yes, I'm always ready for a surprise.
That is my niece. She is in Texas. And she is 9 years old, so I'm glad I got my F word in when I did. And I try to watch it now. But yes, everybody, I am so glad. We have 2 people here to say hi to. Everybody say hi to everybody. But you have Lissy and Chad. Make them feel welcome. Let them know they're loved. Thank you guys for tuning in. Chad. So, like, this was provided to me by an ex. But the thing that's really interesting is I 100% carry it with me everywhere now instead of using a lighter. And I've noticed that my extracurricular funds are, yes. And I'm literally carry this with me, and I spin it around, and I don't have a lighter on me, which makes me not want to go do other things. It makes me not go to the smoking section. And what's interesting is how it puts me into a different realm. It helps me to keep my mind state. Oh my God, I want to sing. Do you know this song? You ready? Oh, wait.
I can't.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
I'll clap.
I love it.
That's my line. The clap line was mine.
The clap. I love it. Just But it really is. And for some people, I know they're not crystal people, but they have other ways of helping themselves. Mine was a lighter. I'm always moving. So for me, a lighter was something I'd spin and just be like this, and just
I think
nobody would
maybe
know.
that's why I smoke cigarettes, is because I need to fidget. I
And
always need to fidget. So now I bought menthol cigarettes because I'm trying to quit smoking. So it's been a long process, but it burns my throat. So I take 2 drags and then I nip it. So, and then I'm okay for a little while. And then later, because I can't smoke a whole cigarette of that. So that is now my new plan. We'll see how long that lasts. But
menthol
I've
cigarettes, huh? That's interesting, because you would think menthol would be one where you'd want to keep smoking just because of
mm,
the fact that the flavor. But what do you normally smoke?
normal cigarettes, like filter cigarettes, but the light one, like 6 milligram. I don't know how cigarettes work. I know that you guys have Marlboro and we've also got that, but I don't know if we've got the same.
Sorry, I don't get to see her comment much. So when I see her
Oh,
name, I
shame.
turn into a
No,
bowl of jelly. Like I'm just like,
I've got 3 kids. I'm the same. I understand completely. You see me, I talk to them. They always, yeah.
you just don't push them in the pool. I'm excited for the day you push them in the pool.
It's
Like,
winter, yeah. It's winter. It's not
well,
summer. That
what is
pool
your
is,
winter?
oh.
How cold is it right now?
Well, we've had a cold front, and we actually had the coldest day in 10 years about 3 days ago, which was -6.
-6
Minus,
Celsius?
yes, Celsius.
Wow. So that's like only like
Yes.
what, 15 degrees Fahrenheit?
I have
Something like that?
no idea. I have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so Chester is been job transitioning, and that is stressful, Chester. Or Chad Jester. I made you Chester. So
Nicknames.
right, like I didn't even mean to. I was just reading it, like I saw the Esther. So Chad, like, bro, I'm wishing you good luck, man. And Jessica, I know you and Phil are going, like, looking around, sending you guys good vibes, because this job market right now, they're saying, oh, nobody's coming out. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people looking for jobs. It's just the jobs that they've been hired, that they've had interviews for are like server jobs where you're making $2.50 an hour and live off tips. That's not the same as the people who could go make $15 or more an hour. And I know personally that the Big D, Mr. Phil, Jessica's husband, Big D Dugas, he is someone that is out there building his best him, and he's worth a lot more than a $15 an hour job. So finding that good job, I'm sending you guys good vibes, good love, good positivity. We've got this, and we're here to support you guys through this, Chad. I wish I could do something to help you, buddy, but right now I don't have any jobs I'm hiring for. And if you ever want to get into the CBD industry, let me know, buddy. I could always use people who want to represent a good brand and do good things.
Good
I
luck.
love working with people who are just amazing people and believe they're going to change the world. So please know I'm sending that good vibes to you guys. Jessica Dugas, I'm sending you good vibes for many different things. I love this woman. I mean this from the bottom of my heart to the top of my heart. She is a huge-hearted person. She has a fundraiser coming up, and her biggest focus is not the profits in any way. She has no profits. Everything she's doing is a concert digitally for people to be able to raise money for nonprofits. And
Oh,
I just,
wow.
100%, you don't get people like that. But I will say, Jessica, I talked to sorry, he has been actively pursued. Sorry, I caught that and wanted to make sure I read it. So it's just a matter of choosing the best fit. And honestly, that's the best way to have it. Congrats on that. I love
Exactly.
seeing that. So I do have to do one thing, though, really quick, since we're talking about the job stuff. My niece is 9. 9. She literally just opened her first lemonade stand, okay? And it's on the side of the road, but she's not keeping any of the profits. She made bracelets. She made
Oh, wow.
headbands for girls. She made a whole bunch of things. and 100% of the profits are going to a local Texas nonprofit. I forget which one it is. And it's teaching her all about building up the best self, that money isn't everything. You need to give back to
That's
others.
very important.
I mean, and she has just been loving it. I'm blessed to have a niece that cares so much. At 9 years old, she's done so many selfless things. It is just incredible to see. She literally at 9 has already cut her hair 12 inches off and
Yeah.
donated it to a charity for people, kids that are bald.
Wow.
Right?
That is amazing.
She's 9 years old and does more than a lot of people I know in my life. And I'm
I
sitting there
know,
going,
I know. And then you wonder why they can't do it. If a 9-year-old can do it, why is it so difficult for an adult
yes,
to do?
yes. And I
They
laugh
have to
because
be
I
like
think of,
children.
yes. And then I think of my niece being like my sister, her mother. They're nowhere the same. They're not close to the same at all. So it makes me laugh hysterically when I see how different they are. And I'm like, wow, that is amazing. Lissy, that is amazing. And like, she really does have
That
the
is
biggest heart.
amazing.
So,
Hats
yes.
off to Lizzie.
Now, Jessica, on the other hand, has 87 kids. Her husband's nickname is the Big D. And with those 87 kids, they don't just have a lemonade stand. They go from a lemonade stand all the way to a full bar. So that way, because they're old enough. And then they turn around and you can get your credit checked, your taxes done. I mean, they just have a whole bunch of kids. They're willing to help you with everything there. It's like their own little
Wow.
like strip mall with a business. I'm
That is
totally making
awesome.
this up.
You're such a liar. I'm like,
I saw your face
you
so
got the eye
serious.
roll. You got the eye roll.
Yes. Yes. I love it. So, what is Elsa up to today? I know we have the what is it? The
Stone daisies.
stoned daisies. Even the
Stoned
X.
daisies.
Stoned daisies. What are you doing later
Yeah,
today? Oh, stone daisies.
yes, that's the South African accent coming out. Stone daisies.
I am not even making fun of you. I am literally loving the accent. I promise. You can make fun
Thank
of
you.
mine. I know I have one. It's
The
called
thing
the
is,
Ohio.
we're so used to your accents because we hear it all the time on the TV.
Actually, that's a good question. So, with being in South Africa, give me something in South Africa that you would miss if you were to move to the United States. Teach me something African, like why you would miss that. Excuse me.
I think the people that what? I
You.
think that
I stalled you.
why? Hallo, hoe gaan dit? Baie goed, dankie met jou. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hi, Mandy. Baie
That makes me
dankie.
so happy. Like you guys just like I was not reading that. I'm like, this is going straight to Elsa. She knows what it says.
Yes, definitely. Hello, hoe gaan dit? That's
I
so cool. That's so awesome. You guys are making me feel so special. Thank you so much.
I love
So
it.
you asked me what I'm gonna miss is I'm definitely gonna miss my kids because my 2 daughters aren't coming with me if I come to or when I come to America. That's a whole different story. It's a long story, and I'm too emotional to go into that right now.
We're not going to touch that. Okay.
Yeah, that's put it in the bin for later. Funny enough, when about 3 years ago, I just said I just want out of this country because of being targeted as a white person for being here and you're not supposed to be here. Understand? So I was born here, but the Africans are from here. So a lot of animosity and all that. So there's a lot of killings on the Boers. I'm not saying it's not the blacks. It's just murderers. It's got nothing to do with skin color, but apartheid and everything. There's so much hate here, and I just said I am done. I decided to get a divorce and I said, I am not staying here. I've always wanted to travel and travel the world. And I actually started to look for work in Germany because of my German name. And I always joked, I said, I just want to go home. South Africa's not my home. I was born here, but my forefathers came here. So I understand where these people are coming from. You know, if you feel that strongly, I'll leave because home is not where you live, it's the people you're with. So,
Right.
and I've always wanted to go to America because of the movies. I mean, there's a South African actress there that comes from the same town as I do. I don't know if you know, Charlize, I think you guys call her Theron, is from South
Yes.
Africa. Benoni, she's from South Africa.
Yes.
So,
I
so,
go ahead, sorry.
so the movies, you always want to go to America. So it's been a long plan in the making. So that's why I started my LinkedIn application, my LinkedIn profile, so that I can network with people and try and find a job overseas because I didn't know how to do this, what to do, and everything. And then my whole life just started falling apart, like everything. And I just continued to build up connections and talk to people because I only have my kids. It's me and my kids. So we do everything together. Um, and sorry, I'm just
You're
trying
good.
to. So we always hang out and stuff. So when I talk to people, it's like networking on my networking for work. I have applied for so many jobs in America. So I know there's jobs. I know on LinkedIn for steel sales because you asked me yesterday what I do. I am a
A
internal,
shark trainer.
external shark trainer slash steel. I sell steel into the mining industry,
By the
hardware and
way,
plate, special
I'm sorry.
steels.
I'm sorry, I gotta get in here. The guest yesterday was watching the beginning of the show and he heard me making these jokes with you. And he
Yes.
came on, and when your internet went out,
Oh,
he was hysterical. He goes, I wanted to know more about shark trading and stuff like that. I was like, yes, I love it. So go ahead. You are in the steel trade, which is a big, big, big thing in South Africa. It sells
yes,
all over
it
the
is.
world. It's a it's huge export for them.
Yes, well, we don't export and stuff. But we do the local market. So we import from China and all those places, and then we sell into the mining market and buckets and all those kind of things. So I know I only have high school. I don't know what we've got grade 12, so it's high school diploma. That's all I've got.
Okay.
And so all my experience I've picked up is odd jobs that I had over the years and doing small when I get to a job, going for all the courses that they can put you send you on and teach you on the Excel and all that. So I've never actually went to a college or anything like that. So all my experience is technical experience that I picked up over the years selling steel. And I've got a technical mind because I was in a technical high school. So we have different schools, like you guys have a technical college. I think it's almost the same. We've got a technical high school. So I was in a technical high school and I've got my senior certificate there. So all my experience. So I started applying for jobs.
Okay.
And yes, so last year I just decided I'm done. I just want to get out of this place. I'm done with everybody in my life. Everybody. Except my
Yeah.
kids, but everybody. My kids are my life, but the rest of the people can go suck it. I do not care about anybody because nobody cares about me. You know, when you go through that, we because we give too much of ourselves and we think we need someone to validate us.
Yeah. I
So a lot of demons that I also had to deal with because of my past and stuff. So um when I finally got to that, and while busy dealing with this, I just started this dream. And then the dream turned into something completely different because I decided I don't want to work for a living. I want to help people because I was a drug addict. I want to help people that's got drug addictions
Mm.
because of sexual abuse in my past and everything. I want to help women that have been abused and sexually abused because I've got the experience. I know why people use drugs. I know how people feel when they're in that positions and being violated in that way. To try and get yourself out of a black hole,
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's difficult. And I want to use my experiences and help people. So
Mm.
that's why we started the Stone Daisies and and I'm on this podcast and I'm trying to make as much connections as possible because I want to help people with my experiences
Yeah.
and what I can bring to the table.
I love that. I love that. It's very difficult for people to understand a perspective they've never been a part of. And truthfully, I am someone, so because I have never been much of a drinker, never. I'll have.
Oh, I used to. No, I used to. I'm a liar. But
I,
not
I,
constantly, but at a party I'll get slashed 3-4 times a week easy. But I had a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol. That was my problem. I wasn't addicted. I had an unhealthy relationship. When I drink, I turn into something completely different.
and when you say that, I think a lot of us do. But what do you mean by completely different? Like, I'm just curious if you notice yourself changing that, because for me,
You only you realize the morning after you actually do things that you're not proud of and you know you shouldn't, but it's because it's dark and it hurts and all everybody wants was to be loved. I mean, and when you get abused and all that things when you're younger, you feel unloved because you always feel, what did I do wrong for anybody to treat me like this? Because I don't treat people this way. Because I
right?
don't.
I
So I
feel the
think that is
exact same way.
yes.
Sorry,
So
I
and then
interrupted you.
no, and I think when you drink, it depends on your mood, which mood comes out because you're never in the same mood. So whichever demon I'm feeding that day is the demon that's coming out because there's a
Mhm.
lot. I don't know if that explains. So that's why I said I had a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol. So I had to stop. I had to for myself.
And I thank you for being so raw, because so many people don't let their boundaries down. They put up a wall, and you've been through pain, you've been through suffering, and you've come through it. And there's so many people that don't want to speak their positives. It's like we were talking at the beginning. How can you start a day in a negative mindset? How can you start a day talking to yourself in a way that's lower than other people think of you? And I think there's so many of us that do that, and we look for that approval in others. And when we don't get it first thing in the morning from ourselves, what do we go to? We turn around and we
Facebook.
go bingo. And when Facebook, all of a sudden, why did Ilsa like Brian's post and not mine? And why is Jessica Dugas liking CK Ford or Brian Tracy's and not mine? Why is Mandy Atterbury not commenting or sharing my stuff? Those thoughts go through our heads and we get upset with ourselves. And then we get upset with others for not matching what we did, even though they might not have ever seen it. And that is like a domino effect. Doop, 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 and one thing
Yes.
after another. And the way you switch that is you have to start your morning. That morning cup of coffee, it needs to be with either uplifting, encouraging, and people who you are bettering you because you're bettering yourself, or it needs to be because my posts are the best. Yeah, they really are 100%. Everybody go like his post right now. But like that first cup of coffee, that first cup of tea, that first wake up where you're getting your body moving needs to be one where you're getting your body going in a direction that's making you feel the best. It's the
Yeah, but
one
you
that's
shouldn't.
putting you.
I know what you mean, but you shouldn't be hard on yourself because you're not gonna
Yes.
have 150 good days. It's just you're gonna have some shitty events in a day. You're gonna have, oh sorry.
You're fine. I'm laughing at one of the comments.
Oh, I thought it's because I said shitty. Am I allowed to say? Is
No,
that that's not a swear word, eh?
no, it's in the Bible.
Uh, where you have to show me.
Give me a minute. I'll find it. Go on. I'm
No,
sorry.
what was I busy saying?
Something
Uh,
shitty.
something was. You're gonna have small events in a day that is shitty. It's how you. If it's happened and it's shitty, there's nothing you can do to fix it. So to get stuck in that situation, That is what screws up the day, not the bad event. It's how you react to it. Why is it happening to me? It's not
Yes.
happening to you. It's happening around you, and you set boundaries. Don't let people walk all over you, but
But I think the personal boundaries. Sorry, I interrupted you.
no, it's fine. Personal boundaries. Yes, you
I,
have to set
I,
up boundaries. You have to. You have to set up boundaries from an early age in your life. You have
and
to
if you've
set up
never
boundaries.
done that,
That's why I don't force my kids to kiss anybody if they don't want to. And there's a reason for that. Because as Afrikaans people, you have to kiss your oom. Oom is like an uncle. You have to kiss your uncle. You have to kiss your grandfather. You have to kiss your cousin and
cheek, lips, head,
full on the lips. That is
tongue.
how they. No tongue, please.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, but in any case,
I'm sorry. I
so
couldn't resist.
I don't force my kids so that they learn from an early age to set up boundaries for themselves. If I don't like kissing somebody, I don't like it. You have to set up boundaries.
I agree. I laugh because I hug everybody. I'm a
Oh, me too.
big hugger. I've missed hugging.
But I have to like
Um,
you to argue. I don't go around hugging people I don't vibe with.
vibe with is one thing, but I will hug a stranger. Like if somebody like says
You're
something
not
and we're
really.
like, oh yeah, like oh yeah, I agree with you. Get in here. One of those. I am not afraid to hug a stranger, but we
No,
haven't been
neither
able
am
to
I.
do that. But we haven't been able to do that in a
No,
year,
we're not
over
allowed
a
to.
year. And I don't know how your regulations have changed, but it
Exactly.
is
No, it hasn't changed. It hasn't
the
changed.
really
You're
no
still
tongue
not
is the
allowed to hug.
no
You have
tongue
to
is the
show
name of my new
me.
band.
Don't leave me the no tongue is the name of my new band.
Oh, that is a good one. I didn't see that coming. And Jessica Dugas right before that had a great one. That was what I was laughing at when you thought I was interrupting you. Literally, no one should be liking anything. There are way better reactions. There are stickers, GIFs, LOL. Thumbs up is so 10 years ago. And that's just how I read that in my head. And that's why I laughed. But she's right. And I don't think I give likes anymore. If I give you a like, it's just because I know you and I'm like, there's your like. But
I
like,
saw you.
I saw you. You get this. But like, I love to give the love, the laughy face. I changed the emoji. Jessica Dugas has started actually, let's have some fun. Watch this. This is how much I love Jessica Dugas. She has started her own Discord channel. So don't forget to go sign up. The phone number is
What's a
256.
Discord channel?
A channel where you can talk to each other, and like when shows go up you can interact without it being on air. You can share ideas, you can have
Oh, that's
prizes.
cool.
It's meant to connect with your community more, and Jessica started one for her community called the Breakthrough Network, or the Breakthrough Text Network. So if you text the word delight to 256-685-7092, you'll not only be connected to the Discord network, you will be able to connect with Jessica Dugas herself, and she does answer those texts. But I say that because she's just always trying to bring positivity. There's days I wake up and I have a message in Discord that she sends to everybody just going, good morning. And I picture her totally like all 87,000 kids lined up right behind her, and she's just like, morning, and they all just like sing in unison, and that's just how I picture it. Yeah, so I love when people are putting out their best, and when you see that in somebody, it's a fun, awesome, 100% great thing. But you and I have just talked, and now I
I
need to go
know.
through and I need to read his bio because we have an amazing guest coming on. His name is Jay Williams. Are you ready for this? Success is an inside job.
You're kidding me, right?
Did I come back?
Yes, you did. You almost gave me a fright because it's at the exact same time as yesterday, and I thought everything's gonna freeze over now. Like, what happened? What happened? Oh wow. Uh, are you there?
Okay,
Are you
yeah.
doing it on purpose? You're doing
I'm
it on
not like
purpose.
I
I
wasn't
saw
doing it on
you.
purpose. I really wasn't at first. It just like literally stopped and my internet keeps spinning. So I just hit reset. I closed everything open in the background from emails to documents, anything that could be there. Hopefully that fixes and so keeps it up. I'm getting my own emoji on Discord today. Like that just makes my day. I just have the
That's
best.
amazing.
You, Jessica, you just humped my brain to help me get through Hemp Day. Thank you so much. You humped it through. You got me through this hump.
I
Who
want a
wants?
lucky man hug.
I want a Lucky Mandy hug as well. I hug people even if they don't want to be hugged.
But
It's
I
a
don't think
little
they
bit
can say
aggressive,
no.
right? He is our polar bear.
Exactly.
So we have Jay
Now you owe
Williams.
me $5.
Right. We have Jay Williams coming on. He is a success advocate. Your mindset could be the key to finally finding freedom, the freedom you're after. Jay is a mindset coach for high achieving, purpose driven entrepreneurs and business owners. He helps them get and stay out of their own way. They break free of fears and become unstoppable in pursuit of life and business they want. Jay is the only person in the doing. Jay is the only person in the doing specialized motivational and maps NLP. He wants to help you break free of the mental chains that keep you stuck and create an unstoppable mindset for the business life that you can live life on your own terms. Oh, he is going to be awesome. Do not go anywhere. Jessica is the modern day version of Sound of Music. And honestly, yes, I want her kids to sing to me just like the whole song. Hello, farewell. Hey, Brendan, we're glad you're here. I just have all these dreams of this. And so far, I've got no Von Dugas kids family singing. And it's one of those things
Not yet.
not yet, the Von Dugas family. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to have Jay coming up with us in a few minutes. I almost said Jay Dugas, and it's Jay Williams. So he will be on with us in a minute. Huge hug a wolf. Learn the truth about the misrepresented creature. 100. 100%. Wolves are a fascinating animal. Have you ever heard, when you're in a leadership role, find your wolf mentality?
I have heard of Wolf of Wall Street. What? Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street. So
Perfect, you
it's the
did it.
same.
Yeah.
Yes. I've not
So
heard of the other one, but I've heard of that.
a wolf's mentality means nothing's going to stop them. Like they just don't have a quit in them. They see where they're going. They see what they're going to do. And if they're
I
in a
like that.
fight, and they travel in packs, and they travel in a pack on purpose because they know even if you can take one of them down, there's more that are going to come and they're not going to lose. So wolf mentality is a very, very, and they're very docile creatures, meaning they're calm. You can actually get, like, there's people that have pet wolves. I'm not telling you to get a pet wolf. I want to make sure I emphasize that before anybody goes, I was watching the Delight Network and Brandon told me to go adopt a pet wolf and then he ate my child. What? Why would you do that? Like, don't just leave your baby alone with a wolf, okay, people? Like, but
Ooh.
yeah, the wolf's up howling again. What did you feed her? I don't remember feeding her. Oh, where's the little baby? Sorry. After the show today, the Dugas family will be available for family autographs, and they will be singing for everybody. So please make sure to do yourself a favor and to go subscribe to the Delight Network and Jessica Dugas's breakthrough show, because you never know which Dugas is going to sing to you live. So I hope hope you're ready, Elsa, because we have on an amazing, amazing young man. His name is Jay Williams. He's all about breaking out of yourself. He is a success is an inside job. It is not about what's going on the outside. 80% of business I just read this perfectly. 80% of business success has everything to do with what's going on the inside. Your mindset could be the key to finally finding the freedom you're after. He is a mindset coach for high-achieving, purpose-driven entrepreneurs and business owners. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not just an honor, it is truly exciting to introduce Jay Williams. Oop. Good morning, Jay. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, Brandon. I'm doing great. I feel like there should be a like woo.
I have a lot of energy. I bring a lot of energy, and my thing is I try to make sure I show the positive because we all have so much in our lives that we can find that's negative. And for me, if I can be that like, hey, Jay, and it makes people laugh, tune in, and open up their boundaries to have fun, deep conversations, I'm willing to put a onesie on to make you laugh. Anything to keep the conversation. Yeah, my Batman. Now, Jay, first off, where are you located?
I'm here in the UK, so I'm in a place called Milton Keynes, just north of London. So most people know London, so it's just a little bit north of there.
Honestly, we have the entire world right now. You have the UK, we have Ohio, which is the US, obviously. We have South Africa, and then we have in the audience, we have, oh my gosh, we have Europe, there's people all over. Sweden is in here. We have people all over. So you have a whole bunch of people ready to learn from you today. We're excited that you're here and you came to the cafe to teach us. But I have to ask, how did you come into doing this job? You look like you're still such a young guy. How can you be inspiring entrepreneurs at such a young age? I feel like that because I think I'm older than you.
It'd be interesting to see what age you think I am. Maybe write it down on a piece of paper and see if you're right.
Deal. Elsa and I are doing this, all right? So go ahead.
What does the winner get?
Wait, what?
What does the winner get?
What is the winner? Ooh. The winner gets a one-on-one 30-second session with Jay after the show. So everybody write out your age of how old you think Jay is. Jay is... All right, I got it.
I think you can probably get people engaging here. How old is he?
All right. Here we go, guys. Take your guess. How old is Jay? You get to ask him any question you want if you get it right. All right? So, Jay, you've been doing this for a little bit now, and you've been leading entrepreneurs. You are helping people break out and achieve their purpose, their driven purpose. Tell me what that means and how you became about with that.
Yeah, sure. So I think it's important that I just give like a bit of context to my background because believe it or not, I've been in this space for about 7.5 years now. And it really started for me around probably about 8.5 years ago. I was actually serving in the Air Force, the Royal Air Force here in the UK. I'd done 9 years service. And I was at a point in my career where I was in a place where I was bored. I felt unchallenged. And to give you some kind of perspective, I'm a guy that's like high energy. I'm a guy that loves people. I love to help people. I want to learn. I want to grow. And I'm in an office and I'm spending 12 hours a day in this office and I get about 4 phone calls a day and one of them is a wrong number. Now, I'm not helping anyone in particular, and I spend more of my time trying to get out of work than trying to be in work. So that kind of gives it away that I was unfulfilled. I wasn't enjoying what I was really doing. But the truth is, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. And in the evening, so I'd work this job in the day in which I'd be so bored. And then in the evening, I'd be a DJ. So I'd be going out and playing in big clubs and like having hundreds and thousands of people just like dancing around. And at the push of a button, I got to transform their worlds. And it was the most incredible experience ever. And I just felt like I was so alive, like I was so at home. So I had this like massive contrasting experience.
Yeah.
And for me, I started to ask questions like, is this all there is? Surely, like, I've been sold the idea that you go to school, go to college, you get an education, you get a long, safe career, then you retire and you die. Like, that's what life is, apparently. I call that surviving, not thriving
That's
in
depressing.
life. And so I followed that traditional path, but I found myself coming to this place of not knowing what I really wanted, but just knowing that what I was experiencing in the moment really wasn't it. So I went on a holiday to Ibiza and came back and said, that's it. I'm leaving the Air Force. I'm off to Ibiza. And my whole plan was I'll figure it out when I get back. I'll go and DJ in Ibiza. It would be amazing. Now, like all great plans, they don't always go according to plan. I met a girl.
Oh, there's the first one that's going to be that changes your path.
I fell in love and I'm about to marry her in 9 days. So that's going to be amazing.
Wow, congratulations.
That is awesome.
And at the same time, I was introduced by a friend to an opportunity to start my very own online business. Now, I had never started a business before. I'd always been a bit in entrepreneurial, buying things and selling things online and that kind of thing. But I'd never started any kind of business, traditional business before. And I didn't even know what a lead was in business. Like, I was just absolutely clueless. But I came out and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be so successful, because I was quite enthusiastic and I got a bit carried away at times, to be honest with you. And I told everyone, all my family, and they were thinking we need to check him in and see a doctor or something, because he's lost his mind. He's leaving this safe career where they're promising promotions, extra pay, it's dirt cheap to live, all this amazing safety and security. And he started a business and he's never done it before. I was seeing everyone online saying, you can start your online business, you can make all this money, there's money raining down on adverts, there's people with Ferraris and Lamborghinis, people sat on the beach, live the laptop lifestyle. That doesn't work, by the way. The glare is unreal. I've tried it on the beach.
I think we all have.
And so I started an affiliate marketing company selling high ticket products from sort of $200 all the way up to $40,000, and learn all about how to market myself online and market products online. I did pretty well at that, but I found myself chasing the money, and I got to a point where I was bored because I'd forgotten why I was leaving the Air Force in the first place, because I was so caught up in the mix of it. And so I decided, hey, if I'm bored with this, I'm going to start another company. So I started an e-commerce store, private labeling products and selling them on Amazon all around the world. Then took that to multiple six figures, and that was great. But then I was still going, but I'm still bored. So there's something wrong here. And along the way, I relied on grit and determination to get me through. But I found that I kept on hitting these like glass ceilings, or I'd become bored, or it just wasn't for me anymore. And so I started to ask more questions like, why is that? What's holding me back? What's stopping me from being consistent and playing all out and playing big? And so I went on this journey of transformation over the next few years, where I went through the entire Tony Robbins suite. I attended things like Landmark Forum, Advance. I hired coaches. I read the books. I attended the seminars. And I broke through all of my past conditioning programming, which I didn't know I had, by the way, which was around my parents' divorce. And that allowed me to go on to actually start to understand myself, understand the things that do hold us back. And then in my space, I started to ask myself, okay, there's clearly a pattern where I love to help people. There's clearly a pattern where I love to learn. So how do I apply that? Because everybody's telling me that I'm good at this stuff. I'm good at talking. I'm good at helping people, and they love what I do. I make things quite simple. And so some people said, maybe you should be a coach. And I kind of just fell into coaching. So I trained in NLP, neuro-linguistic program. I trained in something called Motivational Maps, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and I trained as a life coach. And then I asked myself the question, well, who do I really want to work with? And as I looked at my own experience, they often say your mess becomes your message, and you should often work with people who were further back in the process than you. And one of the big things I used to say to men in particular was, hey, how's business going?
Yeah.
And you know the answer that's coming, right? It didn't matter if their house was burning down, their wife hated them and was leaving them, their business was failing. Great, awesome, yeah, I'm good. And that was the big thing that I
Nothing
could
wrong.
see. So many men were holding themselves back from having what they really wanted.
Yeah.
And so I decided I was going to start opening up, leading by example, and start sharing more of the realness of the entrepreneurial journey and the real challenges that you face, as well as the positive, not just the positive show reel that we show on social media. And through that, I got men coming to me saying, I love your videos, but they wouldn't actually do it publicly because that would be to admit that they weren't perfect. They would send me private messages, and then I started to help men and entrepreneurs in particular. They related a lot to what I was saying and my challenges, and that's really how I came to do what I do today. Except now I get a lot of women coming to me as well and saying, "Hey Jay, I know you help a lot of men. Could you help me too?" And I'm like, "Well, no point in closing yourself off to opportunity, right?" So I
You
help
also
them
need
too.
help sometimes.
Oh my gosh. So I have a very quick question. Can you drop us a beat?
Drop you a beat.
You like, cause you were a DJ. I want to hear you like just. I want to hear you
I'm
get
not a beatboxer. I've got, if you look on my screen up there, you can see my decks. They're like in there, tucked in there right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean to disappoint you, but there'll be no beat, and I'm not a beatboxer. I'm more of an entertainer. Yeah, I'm normally the person that's either stood on the decks and is like, whoop, 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 come on, let's go. Or I pull people up to the DJ booth and I get them in there with me. And, you know, just how do you work a crowd? And that's the way you do it.
And then my next. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna have fun asking him questions about his marriage, his wedding coming up.
Why do you think it's so difficult for men to admit about their mental health?
Yeah, great question. And this comes up a lot, right? Because I think that so much of men and women growing up, and we refer to men, but it's no different for women, we're conditioned on how we should behave, what is right and wrong. And, you know, a baby boy comes out the womb, or a baby girl comes out of the womb, and they're often treated very differently based on their gender. So they've proven, and I'm not a parent myself, but women tend to give girls more cuddles, right? So they nurture that part of them, whereas boys don't get as much as that. And so straight away, when a child is born, they start picking up on this stuff, and we get this modeling of what is accepted socially. Excuse me.
You are good.
What is accepted socially and what is not accepted socially. And this is no different to when we express emotions. And I often give the example of a parent is sat on the sofa playing on their phone, and the little boy is sat next to them. And the little boy is like grabbing them, hey, mum or dad, hey, mum or dad. And they don't give him attention. So he goes and starts punching the wall in anger because he isn't getting the attention. Now, the anger is then punished for the expression of the anger, but it really had nothing to do with the anger. It had everything to do with being present with the child and the fact that he was frustrated. So then a boy may learn, or a girl may learn, that that is not the right behavior. It's not the norm. So we don't necessarily express in the way we could express ourselves. It's the same thing that you often hear. You know, when you're sad, do you ever get anyone saying, hey, don't be sad?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
when you're
like,
angry.
Oh, okay, good.
When you're angry, you're like, oh, and they're like, don't be angry. You're like, oh, now I'm all of a sudden really calm. Oh. Like, that never happened.
No, it doesn't.
No.
But it's like we're conditioned constantly and trained to not express in accordance with social norms of what is accepted, what is good and bad and right or wrong. So to answer your question fully, I believe the reasons the men do not talk about this stuff is they've been conditioned not to. And to actually admit that, they might perceive themselves as weak, and to perceive themselves as weak, they might be perceived as being vulnerable.
Because the
Which in
older
my
generation,
experience
yes,
has been the
told them
biggest
you're not
challenge.
allowed. Yeah, you're not allowed to feel emotions.
So, with that being said, I have many questions I wrote out during your intro. Like I was like typing like a mile a minute. You're being vulnerable is something that we're told to do. It's a way of like leadership nowadays. It's be vulnerable to your employees, be vulnerable to your people, be open to who they are and what you are. But as men, we still put that in a category of complete don't do this. Crying, depression, anxiety are things we're not supposed to talk about. And then you come out of nowhere and you talk about how you did hypnotherapy and all these things. And that is something, I don't know how your countries are for you two, but in the US, that's still something that people are like, what the heck is that? And I do hypnotherapy every Saturday. And I have to say, I've only been doing it for about 12 weeks. But I will tell you this, it has been the absolute most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. And I've done therapy for years. For this to be something that broke through, it made me break down barriers as a man that I always thought were things I shouldn't do. Like, don't spend a minute alone crying. And if you're not busy running around for your business, you're not a success, and all these things. And those barriers needed broken. And as men, that's hard. How did you go to hypnotherapy to be able to figure out how to break those barriers? And what is your experience with hypnotherapy?
So here's the truth, actually. It wasn't hypnotherapy that cracked me. I'll just share with you hypnotherapy for so many people who maybe hear hypnotherapy and they go, oh, it's just people trying to steal your credit card and manipulate you, all that kind of crap, right? Which you see on television, or you may have seen live shows. Whereas hypnotherapy, what they actually do is they run a series of tests before to see who is the most suggestible people in the audience. And the truth about hypnotherapy is they're not going to steal your credit card. They can't make you give you their credit card details because no one will ever do what they don't want to do. So the people that you see, and I always give the example of when I first got up on stage, I remember it was at a football do, or a soccer do, you might call it, at the end of the season. And they had a hypnotherapist in there. And he was looking for volunteers. And I was naturally someone who was quite insecure at the time, but I wanted to fit in. And so I did all the tests, and I was the one that he picked. He dressed me up in a tutu. He hypnotized me, and I danced around in a tutu for half an hour, right? And everyone was laughing, and it was hilarious. He was doing all this sort of stuff. And the truth is, I loved it. I love being the center of attention. I wanted that attention because that's what I thought it meant to fit in and belong to something. And so with hypnotherapy, I just want to give that frame that people can never make you do what you don't want to do.
Yes.
So
did you keep the tutu?
No. I might have gone on the night out with it on, to be honest with you, but
Why not?
I mean, now with that, you have you do these things to help people break out of a mental block. What is something I'm going to be honest? I own my own companies. I have 3 international healthcare awards for being outside of the box thinking in creativity and digital, and that's fairly new. But I've hit a spot where I feel like I've been blocked. And I don't want to make this about me in any way. I'm using me as the example so I don't ever say anything wrong of anybody else. And how do you make sure, how do I make sure I don't get like blocked? How do I make sure I keep pushing through and don't get into that mental block? I know you're going to be able to answer that for everybody. I just use me as the example.
Sure. So the first thing I'd want to understand, if you just tell me a little bit more, if you have it, is what would be the block?
Oh, so I can honestly say I'm not 100% sure. I think the block is more of I opened this company during COVID and had to pivot right away, and my pivot is doing better than the original business.
Okay.
And I think it's just that it's the fear of, I don't want to say success, but actually believing in yourself and pushing to that next level. Does that make sense?
And believing that you deserve what you want.
Yes, and I've been told that I am my worst critic. I am the hardest on myself. And with being so unique and different, I get told all the time that I have to be able to see what I bring, and I don't. And everybody says that's your block. So I think that's my block, but I don't know if that really is. I think that's what I'm told a lot, and I think that's what I see in me. So, yeah.
Yeah, great. This is fantastic. I think, first of all, the first thing we need to get clear is that the greatest misconception is that you shouldn't have problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem is you think that you shouldn't have a problem. And every one of us, if we're being really honest, we all have shit. We all have a problem of some kind, right? It could be that the dishwasher isn't working, or I need to get leads into my business, or I need to get a haircut, or whatever the problem is. There's never been a time in your life where you've not had a problem. And what happens is, even when we're bored, we create problems.
Yes.
I always like
Especially then.
Say again?
Especially when you're bored. If you're not busy, that's when your mind.
100%. We always find a way to find a problem. And I always like to give the example of a relationship. A relationship can be going good for a long period of time, but eventually people get bored. So they create arguments or they create another relationship. One of the two. One of them I prefer more than the other. But we create our problems. Now, think about whenever we set some kind of goal. And I think this is really important. I'm here, and let's just say I decide right now I'm going to create 100 episodes of a podcast, a new podcast I'm going to launch in 6 months, and I've got to get 100 episodes out there. Now, straight away, there's a disconnect between where I am, which is right here in the present, and where I want to be, right? So there's a big gap.
Yeah.
And so because I'm not there, my brain automatically goes, well, you're not good enough. So now I just created a problem by setting a goal. And within 5 seconds, you have that noise going around your head, the justifications, that kind of thing. And you start to create the problems and the justifications as why you might not be able to do that. So you create problems for yourself. And we do this consistently. So when we think about moving past the block, which takes us to the next level, expect the block. It's coming. But you get to decide how big the block is. You either deal with big problems or you deal with small problems. Because if you don't set big goals, you'll be dealing with small problems. If you set big goals, you'll be dealing with big problems, which in my eyes suggests I'm growing consistently. So we must understand that we're always going to have problems. And whenever we set ourselves a challenge or we're growing or moving in a direction, it creates this gap. And because we're not there, we're no longer good enough. That's what the mind will tell ourselves. So we've got to find a way to close the gap, which normally throws us into action, hiring a coach, doing what we do to close the gap. And that's the thing we're constantly doing, because the unconscious part of the mind is designed to seek out more. We always seek out more. It's the very same reason people get addicted to drugs or alcohol or sex or porn, whatever it is. Because once we've had a bit, or once or twice, that then becomes the norm. And then we go, I'm bored. So then we get more extreme in that. We find new ways to do business. We find new ways to do sex. We find new ways, different types of drugs to do, because we're craving more all of the time.
Yeah.
Now, just bringing this all the way back to your situation. The two biggest limiting beliefs that people have on our planet that I see consistently over and over again are I'm not good enough and I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy of love. You see that all of the time, these core beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And everything about our life creates that. If you think about magazines, you're a guy and you're a woman, right? If you think about the magazines, what type of women or men do they put on the magazines? Right?
This one.
Perfect. So naturally you see that and you go, well, I haven't got a six pack as bulging as them, or I haven't got abs, or I haven't got biceps like them. And they might also put a hot girl or a hot guy on the woman, and that's the perfect person that you want. So now you're like, holy shit, I feel really crap about myself because I'm not that person. So I can't be good enough. And we're constantly, through repetition, through the messages in all of our environment, we're constantly being ingrained with this message of I'm not good enough or I'm not lovable. And big part of it comes from your upbringing. Because, and we can sure get into this if you really want. I'm happy to open up and share my personal story of breakthroughs and what happened to me.
Honestly, yeah, I want to know some of your breakthroughs because it
I
helps
actually read-
people. Go ahead, Elsa. I'm
No,
going to
no,
bring your website up, buddy. Jay.
I actually read a piece on your LinkedIn profile where you said about your friend that asked you the question. Is that what you're gonna tell us?
Just remind me which question that
The
was.
one that where you needed to be honest with yourself, where you the where did you make the switch to know that is what you have to do?
I'm not entirely clear, but I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a bit of the story and then maybe it'll connect. So
okay.
I had this challenge in my relationships. The first ever relationship I was in for 5 years, and this girl would say jump and I'd say how high, right? And I was a nice guy because I didn't know anything about relationships. I thought this is what you do with women, you know. This is what I've been taught to do, respect women. And in the UK, we call it being under the thumb. I don't know what they call it in the US, or it's South Africa, right?
South Africa,
Yes, I'm in
Africa,
South
US.
Africa.
South Africa, US, somewhere there. And they call it being under the thumb. She'd say jump, I'd say how high. And I just put everything on hold in my life for this woman. And she would often say to me, hey, are we going to move in together? And I'd be like, no way. Are we ever going to get married? No way. And this went on and on. It was on and on all the time. And I just was like, no, I'm done with this. I'm leaving this relationship. And I left that relationship and got into a second relationship. And I went the other way, because when we break our left leg, we often compensate by leaning on our right. So I went the extreme way where no one's going to tell me what to do. I went the extreme way. But again, this message kept on coming in. Are we going to move in together? I'd be like, no way. That's not happening. Are we getting married? No way. That's not happening. This went on and on and on. And I was like, why does this keep happening? Why does it keep happening? When I was 3 years old, my parents got divorced. My mum went off with another man, and my dad left. He moved 2 miles away. Now, I think it's important to understand here that from about 0 to 6 years of age, we are just emotional creatures. We're egocentric, so everything is about us. It's about me. It doesn't matter if my parents are arguing, it's about me. And what happened was my father moved away. And what I'd forgotten was that for 10 years preceding their breakup, there was constantly rowing every night, things getting thrown across the living room. That was a regular thing. My dad turned up with a baseball bat trying to kill my stepdad, police, just massive shame, massive embarrassment, massive, just all of the time getting used by our parents, court battles, passed from one to the other. And us as kids just never really know what the hell's going on, just chaos in our life. And I'd forgotten about it. And what I realized is the reason I had commitment issues in a relationship is because I was terrified that what had happened to my mum and dad would happen to me. And what I was more terrified of is that if you've fall in love with someone, if you get into a relationship with someone and you commit to them, then they will leave you and you'll be left all alone. You'll be abandoned. You'll be hurt. Because it was the same very feeling that I got when I was 3 years old when my dad left. But there was a story that I made up. And this went throughout my life up until, and I won't give away my age too much, but my late 20s. Because we still got to answer that question.
I was like, I have guests. Everybody get your guests in. You get a 5-second one-on-one and a bear hug from Brian Tracy. If you guess Jay's age, get your guesses in. All right, Jay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And it went all the way up until my late 20s, because what I'd done is I'd made a story, or we call it a limiting belief, that I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable. If I let people in or I commit in some kind, people are going to abandon me, people are going to leave me, I'm going to feel all alone. And this was a devastating feeling for me. Yeah. So what I did as a small child, and this is what we all do, by the way, when one strategy doesn't work to get love or approval or attention, guess what we do? Because kids are resilient. You know, like when you think about a kid and they're like, Mom, Dad, can I have an ice cream? Mom, Dad, can I have an ice cream? And they're like, no ice cream. Oh, come on, Mom, give me a... Dad, Mum said I could have an ice cream, right? And they go, right. This is what they do, kids. They find a way to get their needs met. Yep. So when I use the term, when you break your left leg, you compensate by leaning on your right. The strategy that I was running wasn't working. So I compensated and I developed a certain set of behaviors, i.e. if I work really hard, if I'm competitive, then my dad will love me. Then I will be a good enough. If I win, if I succeed, then I'll be a good enough. See, I told you earlier that I reached a point in my success in my first business and my second business where I was just like, I'm bored. But what was the reason for that? Well, the reason for that is because on some level, it wasn't conscious. I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't this desperate child waving his arms in the air with a white flag. On some level, I was saying, Dad, look at me. I'm successful. I'm winning. Now am I good enough? Yeah. Now am I worthy of your love? And because he'd just turn around and go, well, you better make more money. That just reinforced the belief of, shit, I'm still not enough. I've got to find the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And that's when I went on that entire journey of dealing with all of that stuff, using techniques like timeline therapy, which is one of the techniques I use with my clients. But also, I think for me, it was a number of things. Like I said, I attended Tony Robbins events. And for so many people who are doing this work in personal growth or personal development, it's very much like an onion. You just you peel back a layer and you think you're done. But the truth is it's never done, because you've spent X amount of years reinforcing that neuro pathway, that connection in your brain, and it's trained behavior. You're like, and with respect, you're like a dog. You're just constantly doing the same thing. It's your go-to. It's what you know. It's what's safe. It's what's certain. And the brain hates uncertainty. So why would it ever do something that's different? And that's what happens. And that was really the root cause of all of my mess that was coming up for me in business and in life. And so why should men open up? For this very reason, that I know that the stuff going around in your head, which you may not admit it, is causing you havoc. It's stopping you from enjoying your success. It's stopping you from being successful. It's stopping you from opening up your heart. It's stopping you from having deep and loving relationships. And you might say, I don't want one. I don't know. I'm a man. But I know, I honestly believe this. This is what I believe. Out of all the people that I've worked with, it always comes down to love. It drives everything. It really does. And
spot on.
100% right. I'm going to share your website for everybody here. Excuse me.
Did you want to ask something?
No. I was bringing up his website.
Time therapy? Was it time therapy you said, or what did you call it?
So timeline therapy. Yeah, I
Timeline
can tell you a little bit of that about that. So timeline therapy. So let's do this for a second, right? You want to do a bit of engagement?
Always.
So just close your eyes for a second.
Oh, I just brought your website up. Okay, I'll bring this back up in
Okay.
a second. All right, I'm all yours.
Just close your eyes for a second. And just recall a good memory. And just see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, and just really experience that in your body. Really breathe it in. I can see the smile on your face there. Okay, just open up your eyes. So now what I want you to do is we're going to do the same exercise again. Just close your eyes.
Oh, sorry.
And this one will come a lot faster, by the way. I want you to recall a bad memory. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt. And just open up your eyes. Can you smell popcorn?
Yeah.
No, we call that a pattern interrupt. I just wanted to snap you out of your negative state. So
I'm like hungry now.
Me too. Well,
maybe
it's
you were
like-
thinking about the fairground or something like that. But everybody watching would have noticed that their body language shift. You were either smiling or your face dropped, or there was a little bit of tension. Your body would have shifted. Now, I just asked you to recall a memory. And with all of our memories, there is emotion attached to it. Did you notice you felt emotion? Maybe the first one, joy, aliveness, excitement, fun, happiness, whatever that was for you. And the second one, it may have been sadness, fear, hurt, whatever, guilt, shame, whatever that was for you. So you just notice that there's always emotion attached to our memories. Yeah. And what happens in our lives, if I was to ask you, when you think about your memories, do they resemble some kind of timeline so you can kind of plot your past on a timeline if you were to draw it out? Would you say so?
In a sense, yes. Yeah, when I picture it.
It's somewhere like you might say the past is behind me and the future's in front of me, something like that. So you'd probably be able to plot all your memories all the way back to birth. Maybe you probably don't remember the first few years, but they're all in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, along the path, we have experiences and events that happen. And some of these events are particularly painful. So for me, when I was 3 years of age, I had a highly emotive experience, a highly painful experience for me. And what happened is in that memory, I created a snapshot, almost like a movie frame. It's like a movie frame. Your mind is just like a library of movie frames, snapshot memory with a load of pain associated to it. And so what happened was when I had that experience, that got stuck. I got stuck somewhere in my body, somewhere in my psyche, somewhere in my mind in the past. And what happened is because I didn't process the emotion associated to it, because it was so painful, it was too overwhelming for me, it got stuck. And what happened is, have you ever had one of those experiences where you've had a particularly painful experience in the past? And I always give the example of if you had a particularly bad breakup with someone, a really bad breakup, really painful, and then you see a car similar to what they were driving down the street, going down the street, you're like, all of a sudden you get all of that stuff back. And they call this being triggered. The reason you're being triggered has nothing to do with that car. It has nothing to do with the present moment. It has everything to do with the memory and the pain of your past. Because all that's happening is your past is being projected into the future and the present moment. So timeline therapy, what we do is if you think about this as like positive and negative charge.
Yeah.
What you've done is you put a really negative charge on that experience. And that's what you talked about at the start of the show. It's easy to go negative. Well, the brain often has a negative bias that moves toward the negatives. And what happens is you have loads of evidence to suggest that that was a negative experience. It was painful. Dad left me alone. Mum was shouting at me. All of this that you build and build and build and build. So what we do with timeline therapy is we go down into the unconscious level. And this is why a lot of therapy, traditional therapy, and very cognitive, like logical stuff, conscious, doesn't work. That's why I've had clients that have said, I've spent 10 years in therapy, come and work with me. And within 3 months, they've dealt with the shit that was holding them back, right? It's because they're trying, like I can listen to meditations all day long and and all of that. And I meditate, by the way, so I'm not dissing meditation. But
I just like how you're like, you throw that in there really quick. You're like, I just like picture that because I meditate daily too. And like I try to meditate in the morning and night. And I notice that is a big thing that people think is going to be the breakthrough for them. Yeah. It's going to be what pushes them. And it's just one phase of getting you through it. It's like a stepping stool. It's one step.
The mind.
Yes. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Mind. No, but it's to still the mind. It's not to clear the mind. That you still have to do by yourself. You still need to do the shadow work and stuff.
It's a bit like affirmation. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Well, you better get off your freaking ass and do the work because it's not going to come on its own, right? It's the same thing. So just to wrap this up, what we do in timeline is we go back to the event. We go back into the unconscious.
Yeah.
And we bypass something called the critical faculty, which really controls what comes in and out of the conscious mind. And we use hypnotic language, suggestive language to actually take you deeper. And what happens is we go back to the event, but we don't go into the event because there's too much emotion. And when you get into the emotion, it gets really messy. So what we do is we hover above the event and we ask you, what are the lessons you need to learn? The lessons of which will allow you to easily and effortlessly let go of this negative emotion. And what you do is you then stack loads of positive lessons. And this allows you to reframe the experience and change the way you've seen the experience. So now it's no longer that dad left me. It's just that actually the real fact was they were in an unhappy relationship. Dad was working all the hours under the sun. Mum was looking after 3 kids and she couldn't cope. She didn't feel loved or appreciated maybe. So then she went and found someone that could do that for them. And that's essentially what some of the lessons that I was able to learn. Things like, it's not my fault. Because how many of us think it was our fault that happened? I said it before, children are egocentric. And when you shift this, when you come back to the now, when you bring it back to the present moment in the way that we do it, it allows you to let go of all the negative emotions and all of the events, all the way back to now. So when that car rocks up from the ex-girlfriend or that event that reminds you of when you were hurt in those early days comes up again, it's neutral. It no longer carries the negative charge because you've changed the way you see it. And what happens is we don't see the way the world is. We see the world the way we are. And when we change the way we see the world, the things we look at change.
Will change.
Go ahead, Elsa.
No, I'm good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say something. So can you have a negative? I wanted to not miss everybody seeing your website and all that. Because I looked at the time. I'm like, he's so fascinating. I haven't even brought this in yet. And I wanted to make sure I did. So check out Jay's website. Make sure you sign up. I signed up for your book, the free copy right away. Because I think this is a very important topic. And I want to see people be able to build their best selves. And I love how you're doing this. So when somebody, I have 2 parts to this question. When somebody's looking to try something new like that, could they have a negative experience there that might stir up emotions when they're in that hypnotic state? Or does that determine the teacher or the guide? And how do you determine whether you have a good guide or not?
Yeah, great question. So the first thing I'd say is it's very easy to generalize and say that some people don't feel their feelings. Some people are more in touch with their feelings. Some people are somewhere in between. And it's very difficult to give like a broad approach. But one thing I found in my experience is that, and to put it bluntly, we all have shit.
Yeah.
We all have pain in our past. We do. It's true. Anyone who says that they don't, they're just not in tune with it. They do. They have pain, which means that if there's pain, that pain often carries some kind of emotion. And that emotion can be sadness. It can be anger. It can be frustration. It can be all kinds of things. And I'm alluding to the less positive emotions that people often refer to here. So in my experience, normally in my first session I do with clients, and my hit rate's amazing. I think I've got like 100% hit rate that they will cry. And this is not because I want to make them cry or make them feel this way, but because for the first time in their life, they realize, wow, this is infected and run every part of my life, having this way of being, these behaviors, these beliefs, and it's cost me a lot. And now, because they finally get in touch with the emotion of their past, they're then able to set themselves free. I'll give you this before I answer the second part of the question. My dad's 63 years of age. He'll kill me for getting that wrong. 63 years of age. My grandfather passed away a couple of years ago, and we were stood in the kitchen on the day of the funeral, waiting to get picked up by the cars. And my dad turned around to me and said, my first name's James, but everyone calls me Jay. James, I don't want to make a fool of myself. And my dad's a real tough nut guy, like hard ass guy, doesn't really show, isn't huggy or like saying I love you or anything like that. I don't want to make a fool of myself. What do you mean? Well, what if I cry? I said, Dad, come on, like this is your dad's funeral. No one's going to judge you. No one's going to laugh at you for crying. And here's the thing. Your body wants to heal.
Yeah.
Your body, your crying is just your body's way of letting go of the energy that's stuck. And when you cry, it helps. And so when we think about emotion, I'd like to think about emotions as like the human GPS. They're trying to teach us something. They're trying to help us. And when we experience that emotion, it's just some kind of trapped emotion in our body. And our body wants to find a way to let it out, whether it be through rage on a punch bag or chopping wood or whatever it is, or a scream or a roar, or just through tears.
Yeah.
And it's always trying to teach us something. So emotions are a really healthy thing when you understand them. And so why do my clients get to that point where they get emotional? Because they're finally opening themselves up to healing themselves and letting go of all of the shit that's cost them everything it's cost them in their life. And that's really led them to me in the first place. And then the second part of your question, how do you know if there's a good guide or not? This is like the golden question. For me personally, I would say that you have to find someone who clearly knows what they're talking about. There are plenty of people who can talk the talk but don't walk the walk. One of the things that makes me such a great coach is that I've been through it. I live this stuff. I share real world examples of my clients. There could be something that happened yesterday, and I will talk to my clients about how shit I felt when it happened and how I worked through it. And so really find someone who practices what they preach and someone you really relate to, because trust getting coaching is such a intimate experience for so many people. You might be revealing your deepest, darkest secrets to that person, and that could be the thing that's holding you back. And so you need to be able to relate to and trust that person. And so make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you feel like you can connect with them. Any good coach will jump on the phone a couple of times with you and give you their time to make sure it's a fit. And my experience has been that there's plenty of coaches out there that will say, yeah, I can help you, but really they can't.
Right.
Because they're acting out of a place of limitation and hoping that they can help you. If you can find a coach that is willing to turn you away, hire them.
So are you available for hire?
I am available for hire right now, but it depends.
I need a different coach then.
Depends on the person, because here's the thing, right? I do not take people on just because they come to my website and say, hey, I want to be your client. It's got to be that relationship that's a win-win for both, not just financial or value, but just this.
Yeah.
Like, you, and here's something, I was doing a coaching course where I do group coaching for a friend of mine, and I was coaching about 30 business owners, and they were asking me about a little bit of a marketing question and like getting the right types of clients and stuff. And I said, well, I don't often tell people this, but one of the things I often do is I intentionally put mistakes in my work.
I caught one on your website, by the way.
Say again?
I caught one on your website.
Good.
I literally was like, I never catch them. And I was like, oh! And I was so excited to tell you it. I was like, oh, I wonder if he knows.
Because everything I do is about authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? It's my number one value. I'm imperfect, as are both of you, right? We're flawed, naturally, we're human. But social media tells us we should be something else, because that's the perception. The magazines, it reinforces that whole I'm not good enough concept. But the reason I put mistakes in there, because I don't want to work with people who are anal. I don't want to work with people who are going to be like, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong. Now, I could help that person, because here's the thing. When you find the things that are wrong in everybody else, it's not them you're judging.
It's yourself.
It's you.
I love that. I really, really think that is genius in a way, because like I do the same thing in different ways. And when you were describing it, I was laughing because I'm like, wow, like it's helping me create boundaries in me and helping me eliminate those who might just be not fitting who I am. And I think that's funny because that's exactly what you're doing. Your one cracked me up. I'll have to show you after the show, because I was like, I know this one wasn't on purpose. Like I could see it. Like, and then I'm like, now that you say it, I'm like, ooh, that might be like completely done there just to get rid of me. Hey, Brandon Eastman. I'm sorry. My like all of a sudden excitement. Other show hosts that I've interviewed, every now and then we say hi to each other when we see each other. So Jay, the way that we end every episode is we talk about a positive affirmation, a positive story, something to bring attention to everybody. And it's Wednesday. It is, let's see, Ilsa's 7 hours ahead of us, 6 hours ahead. So it's almost 6 p.m. there.
Almost 6 p.m.
I am at noon where I'm at. So that means you're probably lunchtime?
5 to 5 in the evening.
Oh, wow. You guys are a lot closer.
We're very close.
It makes sense when I think about it now, where you guys are located in the draft. But like what I say all the time as I throw myself off is, we're just here to bring that positivity. It doesn't matter where you are in the day. It's Wednesday. It's hump day for a lot of people. It's the middle of the week. They're just trying to get through the week. But the thing is, there's so much more than that. And that's why we have the community that we're building, is we literally want to help people build their best self, find that in themselves. And I think you come in today and you come into the cafe and you bring this amazing energy, this upbeat energy that was vulnerable, but also strong and confident in what you were saying. So I'm giving everybody till all three of us are done with our goodbyes, but then we're going to read the ages. So everybody get your age in, and we're going to see who wins. So I'll go first. Ilsa will go second, and then you're going to go third to take us out, and we're going to find out how old you are, Jay. All right?
Awesome.
All right. Here we go, guys. So what a wonderful show today, guys. It is Wednesday. We're coming to the end of another month. And if you feel like you keep saying, oh, wow, it just keeps going by fast and fast, and I'm moving, I'm always busy, maybe take that moment to, instead of being busy, to take a moment for yourself. It's hump day. And the only person creating that hump in your week is you getting in your own way. Break that hump down, move it out of your way, and completely dedicate yourself to building your best you today. Thank you for tuning in. Elsa.
I don't have a lot to say today. All I want to say is it's okay not to be okay. You're going to have days when you feel like you need to just cut off from society. Do it. Take time for yourself. And then I just want to read something that I saw on the internet again today. It says, the art of being happy lies in the power of extracting happiness from common things. So only you can make you happy. Enjoy Wednesday, guys.
I love it. And Jay.
There's definitely a theme here. And I feel like the theme is that you get to choose. You wake up in the morning, you choose what you're going to have for breakfast, or whether you don't have breakfast. You choose what time you're going to get up. You choose what you're going to wear. You choose what you do for a living. But ultimately, you get to choose how you show up every single day. And however that's showing up for you right now, just know that you choose it. And you're presented with this choice, this wonderful choice. I can either be sad or I can be happy. But don't force yourself to be happy. But you can choose to do something that does make you happy. Just know that whatever you're choosing right now, you're responsible for that. And all it ever comes down to is a choice.
So well said. So well said. So guys, it's time for the end of the show. We're guessing Jay's age. I have a 35. I have a 39. I have my guess, which was 33. Mandy Atterbury jumps in. She says 33. From there, we go to the bottom. Jessica Dugas says, yes, it's a choice. So she's letting you choose your age. Brian Tracy comes out of nowhere with a 43. I don't see 43, but
holy shit, Brian.
Holy shit, Brian. And then Stuart Lone Wolf comes out of nowhere with a 38. Deep down inside, I think you're early 30s. I even changed my answer so Mandy can have the 33 to 32.
36.
Go ahead. And Ilsa says 36. So, Jay, this is your moment.
35.
35.
I missed it by one.
Missed it by one.
All right, wait. Somebody did say 35, didn't
Someone
they?
did. I can't remember who.
My BMI says I'm 31, but I'm 35.
Hey, you do not look. Oh my gosh. Jessica Dugas, you win a one-on-one with Jay after the show for 30 seconds. I hope you're able to make it. If anything, I should connect you to Jessica Dugas. Anyways, she is a wiener. We're very proud of you, Jessica. And Jessica has a show that's all about making your breakthrough. And you would be an absolutely amazing guest. I'm going to make sure I put you two in an email together. And if you're willing to do another show, I know Jessica will bring it, and you and her will have this energy that is just we can't change the world unless we help each other get to that next phase, and that's what we're going for here. So, Jay, I have one last thing, and we have a minute left. Tell me how excited you are and a little bit about your wedding coming up in 9 days.
I'm excited, but I'll be more excited when I've got everything in place.
Is there anywhere we can go to find pictures of your wedding after it's done? Can you like send some to the show so we could share and all be
Yeah,
proud for you?
I'll send you a couple of pictures. But all honestly, I'm marrying a woman that challenges me every day. She makes me laugh every day, and she really was the secret sauce to give me the inspiration to be more of who I am. And I love her to pieces, and that's one of the most beautiful things to me. So I am looking forward to this day.
I don't mean to be that like childish girl that's just like, oh, that's awesome. I'm happy to see that, because there's so many people looking for that, but they don't spend the time looking for themselves. And you come out and say all these wonderful things. You talked about, you were vulnerable and talked about divorce and everything from your parents, and then how you've grown. Jay, it is an honor to have had you on and visiting the Delight Cafe today. And thank you for being the hump in our day and getting us through. That sounds way worse when I say it like that, but thank you for being here and helping us get through the day and push into a better week. And guys, please don't hesitate. Connect with Jay. His website's up here. I will share it again right after the show. But everybody, go change the world. Give the love you want to see and be the change in the world. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.